Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant.
You live on the surface?
Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzammar's lifeline. Even if we're denied a caste, the Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone. But they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites.
That's not right. Someone should do something.
Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown.
How often do you restock in Orzammar?
Twice a year. I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it.
Never mind, I should go.
Best of luck to you.
Can I interest you in something? I've got the finest selection of previously owned armor and weaponry this side of Val Royeaux.
Previously owned?
Why pay through the nose for new equipment when you can buy it like new for much, much less?
Where do you get like new armor from?
Oh, here and there. Look, that's really not important. The important thing is, it's cheap. And just as good as what you'd find at a smithy.
Let me take a look.
Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
I have urgent need to talk to your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
I am a Grey Warden. This treaty obliges Orzammar to aid me.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Loghain is the traitor who killed King Cailan at Ostagar.
What? Lies and slander! King Loghain will not suffer this. I will not suffer it. I'm his messenger.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep. You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harremont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balaam incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
The Blight is coming, and I need Orzammar's assistance.
Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harremont. Is one so different? No Paragons here.
Paragons?
Surfacers appoint no Paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
Can a city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harremont in there, sort this all out in a hurry.
Harremont and Balin are the ones I need.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harremont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate.
I should get going.
Yes, you should.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what the city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive.
People are at each other's throats.
The city is torn apart. King Endrin is dead, and the Assembly can't decide who takes the throne, Lord Harremont or that monster Balin.
But isn't Balin King Endrin's son?
Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harremont as his heir.
What do you know about this Lord Harremont?
Lord Harremont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harremont.
Is Harremont qualified to rule?
He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less.
Did you know King Endrin?
Only as a potential match for one of his sons. He was a good king, stern and fair and just.
How did Endrin die?
He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the Assembly condemned his second son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace. If Balin didn't murder him himself.
Why such hate for Balin?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Tree and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
I should go now.
You come at a sad time, stranger. I'm going home to wait it out. I suggest you do the same.
I have heard much about the halls of the Dwarven Kings, but the stories do it no justice. It is so strange, harsh, yet beautiful.
Yes, it is very grand.
And have you seen those tiny pig-like burrowing animals? They are adorable. I wish I could have one as a pet. But they must be hard to catch and... Oh, just ignore me. I'm so silly sometimes. Let's just go.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for.
Your allegiance to this Balin is clear. Why?
Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not.
Some say Balin killed his father.
Just as many say Harremont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade.
You approve of this chaos?
Can't find ore without splitting some stone. My investments are solid, I'll be fine. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change.
A blight is coming. Orzammar can't be divided.
Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. Blight may be imminent on the surface, but our warriors are well seasoned against dark spawn. There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you.
Never mind. I should get going.
Your surface gold can come back any time.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying?
Nothing coherent.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging. Then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work you've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself.
I don't understand. What happened to you?
Well, it's the lyrium, you know. Raw blood of the earth. It's more alive than you and me. Most of the time, that's no problem. When it's all bundled up in a piece of steel, it'll leave you alone. But handling the ore directly, sometimes you get burned. It's not just your skin it takes off. It'll burn directly into your mind.
So working with lyrium made you crazy?
Not crazy, just a little forgetful. Don't worry, I'm fine when I work. Just look at my wares. I have the best blades here. Enchanted to hold fire, ice, anything you want to put in it.
Maybe I'll shop somewhere a little safer.
Oh yes, I've often thought that myself. But then, look what happened to me.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs? I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down.
These things dangerous?
We gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say.
Good luck with that.
I can't see luck from where I am. One nug, that's all I need.
You look like you're not from around here.
Yes, you could say that.
Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
The Circle of Magi?
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
You're crazy. Dwarves can't do magic.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
I can bring the Circle your request.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Teventer Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
So this is some kind of shrine?
I don't know that word. This is a section of stone kept bare to receive our prayers. The stone gave rise to our people, and it is where their spirits return in death.
What were you praying for?
My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
Safe return? Your son is missing?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
The Deep Roads?
The Deep Roads are where Darkspawn come from. They descend for miles into the earth, and we must patrol them constantly or be overrun. I lost my husband to them. If I lost my son the same way...
Did anyone go after him?
The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way.
We shouldn't abandon him. I'll look for him if you want.
How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the Deep Roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
Shaper of Memories?
The Shaperate guards Orzammar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of Dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost ties. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad.
Let's talk about Orzammar, Lord Shaper.
Ask, and I shall do my best to answer.
Tell me some of Orzammar's history.
We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the Deep Roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with Darkspawn.
How did you lose your golems?
The Paragon Caradon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the Darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caradon's tide is far into the Deep Roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more.
Golems like this?
Yes. We have only a few dozen left in Orzammar, and I do not recognize this one. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery.
Enough history. Let's talk basic Orzammar again.
I will settle your mind if I can, Warden.
What's the difference between an ancestor and a paragon?
All dwarves who die return to the stone as ancestors, to guide their families forever. But only one every few generations rises to Paragon. A Paragon is a dwarf whose accomplishments change Orzammar so much that the Assembly recognizes they've been born blessed. They are venerated as living ancestors and found a new noble house forever bearing their name.
Are there any paragons in Orzammar now?
There is one paragon of this generation, a woman named Branka. She was born a smith, but her inventions caught the Assembly's eye. Before she had seen 20 years, she created a smokeless coal. It could burn in a cave without vents and no one would choke from it. It earned her paragon status.
Where is Branka now?
She went into the Deep Roads 2 years ago seeking out secrets of the ancient smiths. She never returned.
Never mind, I should go.
Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
I'm just observing. Pay me no mind.
Oh, Stone. You must be the Grey Warden. I completely forgot about the Gate Guard's message. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
A blight is coming.
Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The Assembly is blind to all else.
Does this city not care the world is about to end?
This is their world, and it ended when Endrin died.
Is there any way I can break this stalemate?
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harremont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dulin Verender, Harremont's man, can be found at the Harremont estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Balin's second, is often here in the Assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Warden, it is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring?
This treaty obliges Orzammar to send troops to the surface.
Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Battling the Blight is more important than politics.
No one wishes this fight over more than Balin. But while it rages, Orzammar can spare no one to combat what may or may not be a new Blight.
Are you implying a Grey Warden wouldn't recognize a Blight?
I believe you, but what are we to do? If Balin followed his heart and sent his men to aid you, Harremont would steal his throne. We would defeat the Blight and return to find our homeland devastated by an incompetent tyrant.
And if you don't fight, your homeland gets destroyed.
Perhaps you could prove to Prince Balin your intentions are just. If you show you owe Harremont no fealty, I'm sure Balin would help you. Harremont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harremont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
What kind of evidence?
Harremont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harremont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harremont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Where did you get the promissory notes?
That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty.
Isn't there someone you could report him to?
Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Orzammar. Unfortunately, The Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Harremont's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion.
He'd hold a distant relative over his duty?
I guess I can't expect you surfacers to understand the importance of family in Orzammar. The Shaper is biased, and if you want Prince Balin's help, you'll have to show where your loyalties lie. Will you do it?
I don't want to get involved in this.
Very well. But do not expect my prince to see you as anything more than another ignorant surfacer. I will be here if you change your mind.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harremont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
I have a treaty obliging Orzammar to aid against a blight.
That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harremont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties.
How can I prove I'm not working for Balin?
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harremont's best fighters into stepping down.
So, you'd like me to enter the proving in Harremont's name?
It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear.
And this is to be your king. One who cannot keep his own men from running like frightened children.
Lord Harremont does not use threats or intimidation to motivate his men. He leads by example.
Ah, I see. So it's his example they follow as they cower from this Prince Balin.
How dare you slander Lord Harremont?
Why should we ally ourselves with someone too scared even to grant us an audience?
You'd be nervous if someone was out to get you.
I suppose not everyone can face death as undaunted as an Antivan, it's true.
Then you agree to fight in Harremont's name. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harremont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
I'll enter the proving and see why the others withdrew.
Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harremont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Baisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Bronca didn't go alone, Opera. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman.
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapster's. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you?
I'd like to hear a bit about the city.
So you come to Tapster's? I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate, but I can certainly give you a mole's eye view.
Is there any place I should see while I'm here?
The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the assembly there, the palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the castless build their nest. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the proving.
What's the proving?
It's a chance for all the best fighters in Orzammar to test their skills. There's a tournament today. Arenas between here and the Diamond Quarter.
That's all, thanks.
A Grey Warden is always welcome in Tapster's.
What do you want? Hey, I heard about you. Grey Warden, coming from the surface. Great crisis in the world. People are saying how you've thrown yourself on Harremont's wagon train. I figured you'd be the one, you know, who could help me find Branka. But I guess you're just like all the rest.
All the rest of who?
Power-hungry Deep Lords. The only real concern they have is whose ass gets the throne. You don't have to play dumb, Warden. Their lackeys only come to me when they want something. Well, if you want the secrets of a Paragon, do the work and find her.
Make some sense, you drunk.
There, now that's the abuse I'm used to. I still don't trust you, of course. Your boss, he's like the rest of them. I know he's been poking around, trying to find things out about her, what she was looking for. Won't tell me spit, though. He looking to take it for himself? A little lost technology of the ancients to throw Balin right out of the picture?
This sounds personal for you.
Aye, of course. I'm her bleeding husband, aren't I? She left me here and took our entire house when she left. Is that what you were looking for? Well, there it is. Fine. You keep on your errands. Until your boss really commits to looking, you're getting nothing but smoke out of old Ogren.
The proving will begin shortly. I'm sure you can find a place in the stands. Or were you here to take part in the fight?
What's approving?
Oh, I forget you surfacers do things so differently. The provings are where the best fighters in Orzammar prove their worth and the worth of their houses. Provings can also settle matters of honor. Whoever wins receives Valos Atreidum, the ancestors' blessing. Whoever loses is deemed unworthy. This proving will honor King Endrin's memory. Are you interested in fighting?
I'd like to fight as Lord Harremont's champion.
Well, that's a surprise. Never thought the Grey Wardens would take an interest in our king. Let me just put you into the schedule here. Now, is there a particular name you wish listed?
I am Aiden, of the Grey Wardens.
We'll just call you Grey Warden, seeing as those human names are a real burr to pronounce. We actually have an opening in the first round. Are you ready to start?
What are the rules of the proving?
Fight start at the gong and go to first blood. No eye gouging, no groin pulls. The rules of each bout will be announced when it starts. You should be comfortable with normal weapons and lyrium-enhanced weapons, in single combat, pairs, or battle units. Are you ready to start?
I have a few things I want to do first.
Come back soon. You'll be fighting the bout as soon as both fighters are ready.
Look, I already told the Proving Master I withdrew. Do you have to keep harassing me?
Who are you?
Why, I'm Basil Harremont, but you know that. Why else would you... if you weren't looking for me, do me a favor and pretend I never said anything.
Did someone make you drop out of the proving?
I left the proving on my own business, and I have no intention of discussing it.
Harremont's hurt that his own cousin would walk out on him.
Oh, don't put it that way. Look, it's just, when I was younger, I had a thing with this Idukan girl, Revelka. Lesser cousin, nowhere near the throne. Her family wanted her marrying up, so they matched her with a BMO. But we didn't exactly stop seeing each other.
So you're afraid your affair will be exposed?
She's married to a prominent Desher's heir. We should have stopped a long time ago, but... I love her. Do you know what that's like? Now Balin found out, and I can't even help my cousin for fear he'll tell her husband.
What evidence does Balin have?
They have letters. Love letters Revelka wrote me. If they were made public, she'd be disgraced. Her husband would cast her aside, and I would be lucky to be allowed to die in a duel.
Would you fight again if your secret was safe?
There's no way to guarantee that. I appreciate the thought, but they really have me over a shaft here.
I can't get those letters back.
You'd do that? I don't know how to thank you. I know it's my own fault, but I'd have married her if I could. Balin's fighter Miaja has the letters. If you make sure she never shows them to anyone, I'll fight for Harremont again. But you need to find them quickly. Registrations close once the first bout starts.
Allow me. I could do that for you. Mm-hmm.
The proving's almost starting. I should leave if you haven't found anything.
I have your letters right here.
Where did you get those? No, I don't want to know. Just thank you. I can't say what it means to know my Revelka is safe.
Then you'll fight in the proving.
I will be glad to fight for Harremont in the provings. Thank you again, friend.
You new in the fights? I don't remember seeing you before.
Are you one of the fighters?
Was. Name's Guidon, and I just tendered my resignation. Somehow I don't think the ancestors will favor me today.
Aren't you fighting for Lord Harremont?
I fought for House Harremont in the Deep Roads for 20 years, and will again. I don't regret a minute of that service. But it's my family's job to protect this city, not get caught up in political games better left to the noble caste. It's not so much what happened, as what's going to. I heard from a reliable source Lord Harremont's already given up the throne. Balin called this whole proving to let his lordship save face when he concedes.
That's ridiculous. Harremont isn't conceding.
Oh? And where did you hear this that's more reliable than a member of the Assembly?
Darlin, and I'm rallying honorable fighters for Harremont.
I suppose there's nothing his lordship would do without consulting Dulin. He's always been his top man. Maybe you're right. I'm just a warrior. I've always tried to stay out of these noble politics. If I find out this whole thing was some flunky of Balin's lying to me for his own gain, I'll...
Get back in the proving and knock some heads?
Maybe I will at that.
Good, you're back. I was about to start looking for you. Are you ready to fight? Remember, once the fight begins, the roster is final. No new additions are accepted, and all withdrawals are marked as losses.
Quit stalling. I'm ready to taste blood.
Go down to the ring, then. I'll be right there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. First up is Sewern of the warrior caste. Many of you remember when Sewern made history as a lad of 12 by defeating his own father in this very ring. Today, he fights as a champion for Prince Balin. Opposing him, in Lord Harremont's name, is a member of the famed Grey Wardens.
In the name of House Idukan and our future King Balin.
Get ready to eat those words.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! That was an exciting start, Warden. Sewern is rarely trounced, and so thoroughly. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Yes.
Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round, Harremont's champion takes on the notorious duo, the warrior caste twin terrors, now fighting for Prince Balin, Miaja and Lukja.
May the stone honor you.
You fall.
Sure, and may the dirt taste good when I feed it to you.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! was an exciting bout. 2-on-1, and you took them both easily. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Yes.
Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Harremont's champion has held the field so far, but how will he do against one of the legendary Silent Sisters? We'll find out as the Warden faces Lady Hanishan, who proved her worth to Paragon Ashtith the Grey by cutting out her own tongue. And to our Prince Balin by fighting in his name.
Is self-mutilation supposed to frighten me?
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Yes.
The winner is the Grey Warden! Harremont will be pleased, Warden. The Silent Sister support was a great boost for Balin. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Yes.
Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round is paired combat. Just as Kiatchet fought as King Bloodwick II, defending our empire, so have dwarves always fought alongside a second. Master of all weapons, prisoner of none, Wojciech Ivo has never won the same way twice. What will he do today, lords and ladies? And will it win the day for Prince Balin? Grey Warden, choose your second, for you face Wojciech Ivo and Valans.
I choose Zevran of the Anti-Van Crows.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! Wojciech Ivo is one of the best this arena has seen, Warden. Harremont picked wisely. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Yes.
Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Only 2 warriors remain. Fighting for his royal cousin Balin, the Jotun Iduken has led his team to triumph over every unit so far. Challenging him on behalf of Lord Harremont, the Grey Warden has risen from nothing to stand at the competition's summit. Each will lead a full unit of 4 soldiers to see once and for all whom the ancestors favor.
You fight well, but your judgment is questionable. The throne will never leave House Iduken.
Bizal Guadon, join me for this triumph.
You honor me.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight!
How'd you like
The winner is the Grey Warden! Congratulations! You defeated the man Prince Trian himself once called the Horns of my army. Do you deny this Grey Warden has earned the championship? Then it is my honor to declare this Grey Warden champion of the Proving, who has shown that the ancestors favor Lord Harremont.
May the Assembly heed the ancestors and choose Harremont.
The ancestors speak through you. Congratulations, Warden.
Atrasvala, champion. I hear your performance in the Proving was nothing short of amazing. I must thank you for bringing both Baisel and Guidon back into the fight. His lordship was touched to see his old friends stand for him. There can no longer be any doubt where your sympathies lie. If you're ready, Lord Harremont will see you now.
Excellent. Lead the way.
His lordship is looking forward to meeting you.
I appreciate what you have done, Warden, and I apologize for putting one of your rank through such trials. I am Lord Pyral Harremont, and I thank you for your efforts to help me preserve King Endrin's throne.
Why would Endrin prefer you over his own son?
You may not know the story, but Balin is actually the youngest of three. Endrin's eldest, Trian, was murdered in the Deep Roads not a year ago. His middle son was found standing over the body and was exiled. But I've always found it suspicious that Balin knew just where to look. Endrin loved his sons too much to voice such suspicions. But he knew Balin's only interest in ruling was to further his own power.
Balin's men say you planted those suspicions.
Balin resents me because I did not believe his setup. I wanted a full investigation, a trial, not this knee-jerk reaction. It speaks poorly of Balin that Endrin himself was the first to think that he should not be trusted.
You believe you'd be a better king than Balin?
I have never sought the throne. My role was to serve Endrin, first as his advisor, then as an elected Desher in the Assembly. Harremont has never been king, and I always assumed Trian would rule after his father. But both Endrin and my colleagues have asked me to step up, and I will not back down when Orzammar needs me.
The Assembly has more power than the king?
The Assembly represents the voices of the wisest, most noble families. While we need a single king to preside over important functions and lead us in battle, the Assembly better represents all in Orzammar.
All I want is your support against the Blight.
For us, the Darkspawn are a constant menace, so a Blight may not elicit the same urgency you are used to. Ultimately, the Assembly decides what troops to send. If they no longer fear civil war, they'll have no reason to hold back. If you want my support to count, I will have to be king. And right now, there is no sure way to get there. Have you heard of a woman named Jarvia and the criminal Carter she runs?
No.
The Assembly receives pleas every day from the common folk, begging that something be done about her. So far, no one has managed. Jarvia hides her base in Dusttown, the raw edges of the city where no one lives but castless and criminals. If you would help me in this, it would show the Assembly that I, and not Balin, have the ability to defend and rule this city.
I'll deal with Jarvia. Be ready to help against the Blight.
Do this, and I promise if I take the throne, I will not stop until the Assembly sends your troops. Look for Jarvia in Dusttown. Do whatever it takes to see that justice is served.
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen.
How can something so mundane have power?
Maybe it is belief and faith that imbues them with their power, or just maybe Andraste really was blessed by him. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her.
Why do you even revere Andraste?
Why shouldn't I? I don't understand.
We don't need Andraste if the Maker speaks to you.
Oh, I see what you're asking. If the Maker has not truly abandoned us, why would Andraste need to intercede with the Maker on our behalf? I have never thought of this. I revere her because she's the Maker's divine bride. I do not have any other explanation.
Make up your mind. You can't have both.
Why? If the Maker has not abandoned us, does that make it necessarily true that Andraste was nothing?
It makes her begging the Maker to return completely absurd.
I know it sounds irrational, but faith is irrational. If we knew the truth, it would be fact and irrefutable. But we do not, so all we can do is believe.
What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is the desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
It doesn't take any special skill.
I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer, as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
I prefer straight-up battle.
Then I don't imagine an assassin's life would be one for you. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we?
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
They look fine, I suppose.
Spoil sport. I think they're lovely. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.